The IT corridors have witnessed inundation. Let's take a look at these images. Waterlogged roads as Bengaluru goes under flood water after overnight rains. Roads resemble massive water bodies. Waterlogged roads as Bengaluru goes under flood water after overnight rains. Roads look like water bodies. Water everywhere in the Silicon City, the pride of India's IT world. Traffic snarls in Bengaluru. Traffic crawling as roads get filled with water. Morning traffic was caught in a mess after overnight showers. Residents had to be rescued from waterlogged streets, as you can see in those pictures. One such rescue by civic workers was caught there on camera. They're on your screens right now. Classrooms have been inundated in many parts of the city. Children of this particular school were seen taking out water from their classrooms. Rains batter the capital city of Karnataka, Bengaluru, as is evident in those pictures. The administration, in fact, is looking into the matter, but there is failure writ large, as we are showing in these pictures. Houses have been flooded, so have been schools. The Chief Minister has responded. Listen in.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
Kathyayini Chamaraja is a civic activist, is joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for your time. I want to begin by asking you, what is it that the administration should be doing given the situation? The IT hub of Bengaluru is completely flooded and the people are obviously distressed and are facing several problems, as is evident.
Yeah, it's a very sad story that the IT companies are complaining now, when actually, you know, to suit the IT companies, the government has been spending crores and crores of rupees to build elevated corridors and flyovers and underpasses and things like that, totally neglecting the ecological sustainability of the city, and that the sustainability and inclusivity have to go along with any kind of GDP growth. Now, this total focus on GDP growth through flyovers and expressways, this is what is causing this entire problem, because they're totally neglecting the lakes, the lake beds and the Raja Kaluways, and they're allowing massive encroachments on these, and nobody is being held responsible for it. When you encroach on a lake bed or a Raja Kaluway, who is giving the permissions for these encroachments and the building bylaw violations? Isn't it obvious that the local officials who are in charge are giving permissions left and right by taking bribes? Now the bribes, the contractors have clearly and openly come out, you know, without any hesitation, that they are being made to pay 40% commission on every contract they get. So for allowing them to violate zoning regulation, building bylaw violation, and also the lake buffer zone and everything. And then you're when the floods happen, then you're waking up and saying, oh, we will demolish all the encroachments on the Raja Kaluway. What were you doing when the encroachment was happening and your officials were giving permissions left and right to build on these Raja Kaluways and lake beds? Now you're waking up, it's too late. And you should have thought of all that. And until you punish some of these officials who are in cahoots with the builders, they have allowed these encroachments, you're not going to solve this problem. And also the, you know, the rules and the laws on ward committees clearly say that there has to be a ward disaster management cell. And those have not been activated at all until we went to the court. So whenever a disaster happens, there is no local citizenry who is ready and prepared and, capacity built. Their capacity has to be built before the disaster happens to be able to tackle these emergencies. And you're left with the citizens, who are constantly being flooded with the waters every time it rains.
Yes.
Because you have not done the mitigation of the flooding zones. When the floods are not there, you have to make sure that these people are rehabilitated somewhere else so that their houses don't get perennially flooded each time it rains. Why is the same family being affected each time? Because you have not done the mitigation for disaster prone zones and rehabilitated them while the floods were not there. So this whole disaster management cell at the grassroots level, at the ward level, it was supposed to do preparedness for any kind of disaster.